Hello, dear friends. I am so very excited right now because what we're going to be talking about is the making of the script for our video, Volverte, Abrazar. And with me, I have my one and only nephew. I mean, I have more nephews, but he's the oldest one. Eric Munoz. He is such an amazing sound engineer, a great musician, an awesome producer. All over Utah, you're gonna see his handiwork in working with different venues and events. And sometimes he sends me invites to see groups that I love that I can't go to see, like Toto. Anyways, that's another thing for another video. But he's amazing, creative, and I have my lovely, beautiful, and amazing older daughter, Annalise, my oldest. And she is also a very creative person. She's a mom of a 3-year-old almost now in June. She's getting to be 3. Oh my goodness. But the thing is, she's also a very, very creative artist. She has a lot of joints out there in on different websites and online, and she also works for hire. So anyways, later on, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But I want to concentrate on the script of this video. So I called both of them and told them, look, I wrote this song. I'm going to send them to you. And after they were like, oh, this song is so beautiful, so amazing. Let's do something about it. So Eric was like, yeah. He was like, oh, I want to cry. So he says, why don't we, I told him I would like to come up with a simple video. Okay, so my simple video, I'm going to show you the script that we came up with for this when we started the creative process. We had 2 phone calls. And in those 2 phone calls, we put together all this. I would like to hear you guys. Eric, what was your impression of the song and what was in your mind when we started working with it?
First impressions were very emotional, mainly because since I was a kid, I grew up being a fan of yours and your work. And you've always been an inspiration in me as a father and in the industry doing what I do as a musician and all that. But
stop right now. Going. Focus on the work.
This one was very special to me as because I know that it comes from your heart and Nani's heart, and it's about not only our family but what we as a community, as a nation are going through. It's a lot of trying times, and be away from family and separated, isolated at home is hard. Yeah. And I think these lyrics are simple but so profound and so to the point of what we're living right now. So I was trying, as you were asking Annie and I, to come up with ideas on the visual aspect of it. I was trying to put a little bit of how I imagine myself or how I imagine my family being away, and that's what the script is about. Try to obviously the musical aspects of it, which is you and Nani singing and playing it, but also the imagery of the memories of the family and feeling, that feeling of separation.
Awesome. Okay, Annalise, I want to hear you too. What was your impression or your thoughts when you heard the song?
Well, when I first heard it, I had listened to it on my own. At that point, I want to say that when I first heard it, I had only visited you once since the entire mess started, and I was really feeling the purpose and the message of that song, and it was something that I knew was going to be I felt was going to be very big and very important to a lot of people, and a way for there to be unity through this song. I was pretty excited when I found out you wanted to do. You really wanted to give it a nice, wrap it up in a nice bow and put a video out there for it. And equally happy to be part of it too.
Awesome. Well, when we came together and start working with ideas, when a brainstorming session is one of the things that you want to do whenever you come up with an idea, and you bring people that are more knowledgeable than you are. And that's the key for anything in life that you want to success. You have to have success. You need to surround yourself with people that know more than you in whatever area you want to excel. So I pulled in these two amazing creative guys, and let's go over the script real quick. Of course, the song was written in Spanish, so we're going to be translating some of the phrases, but the work itself, we did it in English. We wrote them in English. So in my pre-production, that's one thing that we wanted to keep, and this was something of a key importance for us to give to our video director. And by the way, we recorded an interview with him and his wife and the making of this video. So one of the things that he pointed out in that interview was that he was really glad that we took the time to put all these little details so he could get ready to do the work. So on the first segment, you can see that it says pre-production. Record 3 shots of the song in different settings. Shot 1, both in the piano, 1 moving, 1 static, which he did. 2 shots in the living room, which we did. 1 moving, 1 static. He used like a little rail thing where the camera moved back and forth. And the 3rd shot outdoor, which was one that we did at alter speed. We don't have time to go into that technique that Eric taught our video guy, but it was an amazing one. And as you can see in the video, you could see that we were singing the song like in a slower motion, but we were in sync with whatever was happening in the song. That's very, very, very cool. So we wrote that so he could get ready to, for the work of the day, bring the right equipment. It meant that we need to record outside and inside. So there's different lightnings, different settings, and he was ready for that because we took the time to put those things in pre-production. And thank you, Eric, for this piece of advice, which was great. So at the start of the video, the camera takes CH, which is me, and N, which is Nanny, saying bye to the family on a computer and walking to the piano. So at the end of this video, you're going to see a link. If you haven't seen the video, you're going to find the link to go straight to the video and see the whole thing. And then the first line says, "Como quisiera estar de nuevo junto a ti." Now, given the emotional weight of this phrase is, oh, how I would love to be by your side again, right? And then, oír tus pasos y mirarte sonreír is listen to hear your steps, the way you walk, and look at you smiling again. And then there's a scene, a baby film from behind, and camera pans up to grandpa. Okay, so I think that was either Annalise's or Eric's idea. I don't know which one it was, but I thought it was one of the most emotional of the video. It was great.
I think the original idea, we were going to film this part at Grandpa's house, but logistically it didn't work out.
Of course.
But the emotion is the same. The end result of the idea is exactly the same. It's a 2-generation gap or 3-generation gap. Having a moment of separation after living life together. So that was, regardless of the way that it ended up being filmed, the idea is still the same, and I think the emotional aspect is the same.
So when we came up with the phrase of dining table, this one right here, dining table from afar, Michael with grandma, talking to Charlie and Annie with cups of coffee. That's when one of the Annalise's doodles were. She saw this and she drew us something, right? And I had no idea what macro meant, but she knew, and so she came up with this little drawing, and it was. I thought it was amazing. It was kind of hard to do it though, so we opted to film it just straight up, and it came out really, really well.
Yeah, it did.
Right. So was it something closer to what you have conceptualized?
No, I thought it was perfect the way it was. I was trying to think of ways that the shots could be static, so that you didn't have to worry so much about placement or having extra work. When I first suggested the idea, I was thinking, well, if we are all stuck in our homes, if we are in quarantine, is this going to be is this going to be filmed pretty amateurly? This was before I found out that you had a videographer in mind. So I was thinking of ways that we could do shots like this um, without us having to worry about moving a camera around.
Right. And I mean, thank God that we had all these ideas, one stacked one on top of the other, because we were able to improvise and do something different, which came out really, really well. So there's another line that said, esta oscuridad y separación, and we go back to the piano scene where I'm playing piano, that's this darkness and separation. My very funny nephew put this little image here, which is, I want an explanation for this, Eric.
It was just joking around with that phrase of being cheesy, because Annalise was very concerned about it. So I was just having fun with our little experiment, and obviously we have this 80s mentality on videos that we feel compelled to have visually what the lyric is. They call it the literal video.
Right.
And that's not exactly what we're trying to do here. We were trying to express an emotion. So obviously we're doing scenes, and like you explained on your making the song video, you want to have a story, you want hills and valleys, you want things to develop. So we were using imagery to do that. So we were changing colors for the memory bits. We were using bright colors for what we were calling the actual or current timeline. And that cheese bottle represents a one of those climax or one of those emotional moments, especially in the chorus part where
it came out really, really funny. I just wanted to point out that every single line you're gonna see in black the original verse of the song or the lyric of the song, and then on red we wrote whatever we thought that could fit in that particular line. Now, there were different takes that we did inside and outside, and we talked about the perspective of the creative process in which we took the song and we could make it, okay, let's see what we can do as far as placing whatever we're seeing in what particular time, right? And according to that, we gave it a different vibe, a different actually color, and that's one of the things that Eric helped us to put together. The desaturate to vignette to represent a memory. That was you're gonna see this, for example, in this line over here, because there were lines that we were trying to make people feel that we're talking about what happened before and after. So we didn't use the word COVID or pandemic or anything like that, because whether it is descriptive of what's happening now or maybe a future event, we wanted people to connect with the sentiment, with the feeling. So that was a good technique, that you guys came up with to change the setting, the time setting of what we were expressing with the song. So in this script in particular, and we can see like there's another there's another bottle of cheese here, and there's another clean the cheese, which was the last one. This is the last page, by the way.
Towards the end with a fade out.
Exactly. Right. So we had so much fun doing this. So which part, I'm going to end up with this. I'm going to leave this up so people can read through it while we're talking. Which part of the video in connection with the lyrics would be something that really spoke to you?
I think that verse after the first chorus was impactful, because it talks so much about our unity as a family being disrupted and being paused, and now we're kind of apart, and there's so many memories coming in of that time that we were together. Gotcha. And that's how I remember growing up, being together all the time.
Right.
And not being able to have that connection in a moment like this. That's where I got emotional. That's where all the bottles of cheese whiz comes in.
So how about you, Annalise?
No, I'm gonna piggyback on that sentiment because it's very true.
Mm-hmm.
It really is, and it's it's more. Uh, I've kind of had I've been pushing back a lot of what I feel because of having the little one around, and she was already like she is happy all on her own, but even when it gets to the point that like happy baby just suddenly starts asking why we're not going to grandpa's house anymore, or why we're not going to the store, or why we're not getting in the car and just going anywhere, uh, that's that is where I've kind of had to suck that all in and just the song overall, it pretty much just sung out my own thoughts and like relief. It was a relief to have that being shared with the world. And it's like this is really what it is. This is how much I miss. And
So these two amazing human beings in their creative mode are just beasts. They're killing it, and they both work in the arts industry. So Eric and Annalise, where can people find you if they want to work with you in whatever um, dimension of your art? Can you share with us where we can find you online, Eric or Annalise?
yes, there is a website I am working on,
Mhm.
and that's
Ooh.
anneiglesias.com
Is it up?
for now. That is out. However, it is still under construction. I have very little amount of work there,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I do have work there.
Awesome. So, but if people
And
go,
you can get in contact with me through the
that's my
site.
question. Perfect.
I have my commission information as well,
Perfect.
and I can just guide you with any questions that you have about freelancing.
All right, people, oniglesias.com. That's where it is. Oh, so Eric, how about you?
I own a company called Sonic Works, and I do a lot of AV work, and I do a lot of work with churches. So everything from audio, video, lighting, uh, everything.
Cool.
And that's what I do for a living, and I've been blessed to being able to.
So, is there a website or an email that you want to share with us? So,
Yeah, it's sonicworks.com.
Sonic Works. Sonic, like the character on the video games?
Yes.
Ooh, okay, awesome. Guys, again, thank you so much for your time. There's a link here on the video where you can see the song, and also you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and always Charlie Hernandez Music on Facebook. God bless you, and thank you so much for being with us.